this is coming from somebody who used to drink a shit ton of alcohol quite frequently in large quantities. I just haven't thought about it in a while. And that's how the way that I know that we're truly moved on from what people call addictions or vices or old habits or whatever, is that you're no longer even fighting it. You know, like there's that stage in addiction. I don't like the term addiction or relapse or any of that, but there's that stage in addiction recovery when we're clean, but we're still like really like vigilant about it, you know? And I'm at the phase where I don't even have to really think about it. And so that's what I mean when I say I haven't thought about alcohol or talking about sobriety in a while, because it's not even on my radar anymore. And I'm blessed, man. And anyways, man, why did I quit drinking? How did I quit drinking? Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you straight out of the gate. The key to quit drinking, all you have to do is reinvent your whole fucking life. You thought it was gonna be like some easy shit? All you gotta do is just reinvent yourself entirely. And it's simple, right? No, fucking hard, man. Most worthwhile thing you will ever do. But anything worthwhile is not easy, right? And I don't mean to poke fun at anybody, because I do understand how difficult it can be, and it is, to drop things like alcohol, to drop things like whatever it is, right? Habits, behaviors, substances. So I do feel for you, man. The good thing is there is a way out. There's absolutely a way out. I grew up around alcoholics, man. I saw alcohol being consumed frequently and in large quantities from a very young age. It was never a question whether I was gonna be a drinker, right? And drinking formed the fabric of my whole social life, okay? Anything social, there was alcohol present, right? With family, with friends. If I wanted to go on a date with a woman, it was over drinks, right? Everything was about drinking. And it's very normalized, right, in our society. We don't really think about it that much. Now there is a movement, shout out to the Gen Z cats that are drinking less. You can debate on whether they've replaced that with even more harmful shit, but let's not go there. But there are more people thinking about their alcohol consumption. The reason that I wanted to quit, man, was I simply felt that I was not living as my highest self. Not in like I'm bad or like I'm ashamed, not that, but like I literally felt like by drinking and then being hungover and then, all the various effects of alcohol, this is green tea, but let's pretend. I was just holding myself back from a lot of things, right? I wasn't as healthy as I could be physically. I wasn't as clear as I could be mentally. I wasn't as stable as I could be emotionally. I wasn't as confident as I could be socially, right? Because the alcohol was always present and always gave me the crutch in social situations to where I never had to actually learn how to be, without it. A few limiting beliefs that you may be encountering and that I certainly had to deal with were the following. This is important, man. I would write this down. Get your notebook. I got mine right here. Get your pen. Ideally one of these fire fucking, I love these things. Write down, man, the beliefs that come up, the thoughts that come up when you think about drinking. Why don't you just quit today, cold turkey? What comes up when I say that? Is it, I'll never get laid again? Because that's the thought that I had. Wait, if I go to drinks, go have a date over drinks, how am I gonna ever, if I've never, gotten with a woman sober, how am I gonna, is it I'll never have friends again? because that was my thought. Is it, but I'll never be social again? Is it, like, what are you losing? What is your mind telling you that you're gonna lose by giving up alcohol, right? So I think that's a good place to start, because I can guarantee you that your biggest growth is going to come from these areas, you know? So let's take a couple examples I mentioned, right? Your biggest growth, if you fear that you will never get laid again, right? And that you won't have a social life when you quit drinking, that's gonna be your biggest area of growth. And for me, it was, right? When we stop having a crutch to lean on in these situations, we actually are able to build our own muscles up, similar to actually a physical crutch, right? When you're walking with a physical crutch, the muscles that you would normally be using on your own weaken, right? When you throw the crutch away, you are forced, there's some discomfort at first, right? But you are forced to strengthen your own muscles to where you can walk on your own. The same exact thing is true with your mind and with your social life and with your dating life and with everything, right? So that's what I mean when I say your biggest growth is gonna come from those biggest fears that you encounter when you think about quitting drinking. So that was some of the things that were holding me back from quitting. And then, like I said, in turn, those were the biggest growth areas, man. I mean, put it to you this way. If right now you think about walking into a room full of strangers and having to meet people and interact with them and stuff, and you think, holy shit, I need a few drinks in me before I do that, or I hope there's alcohol at that thing, that event. If that scares you, then I can guarantee you quit drinking, and very soon after that, you will be 100% confident, 100% free of any social anxiety to go walk in rooms full of strangers that you have to interact with without alcohol. Guaranteed. Anyways, that is why I quit drinking, because I knew in a deeper place in my mind that alcohol was holding me back from becoming my most actualized self, I dreamed of being a man who could just travel the world and meet a bunch of people and speak publicly and start a business and become interested and therefore interesting in different habits and hobbies and shit like that, right? When I was just drinking all the time, my identity was I work, right? I'm a 9-to-5 guy, right? I was an engineer. I'm an engineer. My identity was that. And I like to have fun, which just meant I like to get fucked up. That was my entire thing. That is fucking boring, to be honest. I don't mean to shit on my prior self, but that's a boring life, man. And so taking away alcohol, again, taking away the crutch, allows us to build up. And so taking away alcohol allowed me to become interested in like all of these different hobbies, and I had time, right? Some people look at it as I'm gonna lose all my friends, I'm gonna lose my social life. On the flip side, you could look at it as I get to rebuild and design my life how I actually want it to be. And it's not just based on this thing that I never really consciously agreed to. I just kind of grew up and that was what people did, you know? Anyways, man, I try to keep these videos 10 minutes or less-ish. That is just a little bit of insight onto quitting drinking. But if you guys do want more about this topic, hit me in the comments, man. Let me know. Best of luck to you, man. I really do wish you the best, man. I'll see y'all next time.